Hello friends and felines, and welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're venturing on my channel for the first time today. I've got my wig caps on because today I'm going to be transforming into Maleficent for my Halloween costume. So if you want to see my attempt to look like Angelina Jolie, then definitely keep on watching. I'm going to start today off with brows. I've kind of fallen in love with doing my brows first. That way I can really shape them how I want and then go in and cut them out and really make sure they're nice and clean and neat. So I'm going to go in with the KVD medium brown brow pomade. And I'm going to make sure, because Angelina Jolie has a very high arch and then it tails off and it's very skinny at the end. So I'm going to attempt to mimic that. So we're going to go in with the dip brow and see if we can get our brows to look like Angelina Jolie's. So I've never attempted to actually make myself look like someone else and change the actual structural features of my face. So this is going to be a very interesting challenge, and with a face structure like Angelina Jolie's being so iconic, I think it's going to be a little difficult, especially because I'm not doing any FX makeup today. I'm not worrying about cheek implants, so I'm just going to have to do some hardcore contouring, and obviously her brows and her iconic lips will definitely be a challenge. Alright, so we're going something along the lines of that, giving that very high arch and then having it come back down to a very thin tail, so definitely not my normal brow. So that's what we're looking like so far. Alright, I'm back and both brows are done. Definitely not even, but I mean, that happens every time. My two brows just grow completely different, so then trying to shape them into something that they're not makes it even harder. So I'm pretty proud with how this one goes. It makes me look a little bit evil. This one, on the other hand, is a little bit more dramatic. Definitely not the same. Maybe they're distant cousins. I don't think they're sisters today, but we're going to move on. So for foundation, she's pretty pale. Some images you see her, she looks really white. Other ones, she just looks like regular makeup. So I'm just going to go in with the palest foundation I have, which is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus. This is the Dewy Finish. So I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward through that and then come back for the fun part, which will be contouring. Also, do you guys like my new backdrop? I decided to take down my tapestry because it's just too busy of a backdrop. Plus, you get to see my Halloween decorations. So I've got this skull thing here, got this skull, that little light up thing for a little bit more light in the background. I've got this thing over here, and I've got a little skull over here. I don't know if you can see it, but this is a little skull I got from Alexandria Bay when we went up to the Thousand Islands. So, and then of course I've got all pink things. You know, pink isn't my favorite color, but I just really like it, and now it's just everything in the backdrop. Got my bling brushes back there, the Jeffree Star vaults from the Orgy collection, which I haven't done a review on, and then just everything else. So I got my Halloween decorations up, even though there's only a week left in the month, but oh well. I look funny. I just want to make sure I get it all the way down to my neck this time because my costume, I think my chest is pretty bare, so I want to make sure I'm pale everywhere. I don't know if I'm going to do my hands or not. That's too much work. So now I'm contouring, starting with the highest parts of my face with a very pale concealer. This is the Jeffree Star in C4. It's really pale on me. So I want to do this first before I set everything with powder and then start doing powder contouring. So this is just going to give the very high points on my face some more contrast when I start going in with the really heavy contouring. So obviously, I'm going to conceal the under eyes, and I have some of the very highest parts of my cheekbones. Don't want to bring it down too far because that contour is going to cut in pretty high up and pretty far in. And I'm definitely going to go back in with some brightening powders and just really try to mimic Angelina Jolie's bone structure, which is asking for a lot because, I mean, I think we would all die if we had her bone structure. Just saying. Alright, to set the high points in my face, I'm going to go with the Samia Cassia Brightening Powder. Not really good for flash photography, but I don't think I'm going to be having any flash photography happening tonight, hopefully. So again, it's only going to go in the brightest spots of my face, and then I'm just going to set the rest with the Photo Focus Translucent by Wet n Wild. So hopefully I don't have too much of a white cast, but I want to make sure I really set those with a like really white, bright powder. And then I go in very lightly with this. I don't even think Sonia Kashuk makes makeup anymore. I think she just has brushes. Because I think the only time I actually see it is in Target, and she only has brushes. And this is actually the only makeup item I have from her. And I don't even know when I bought this. I think I bought this like way back in college, like right when I was first starting to get interested in makeup. I mean, I do like this powder, but you definitely can't set your whole face with it because you definitely look like you have a white cast. I mean, it looks like I have a white cast right now, but it's intentional because I want to look so pale that I'm almost white. But I mean, this has like a really good finish on it. Like it instantly blurs. It's kind of like Photoshop for your face, but it doesn't work well with any flash photography. If you want to go as Flashback Mary for Halloween, this probably would work really well for that. But as soon as I put it on that concealer, it just instantly blurs. Pores gone. Who knows that? Not me. I mean, I guess like I'd be lucky though because, I mean, I'm obviously like still young, but I don't really have bad pores. I don't really have too large of pores right now. Hopefully it'll stay that way for as long as possible, but we shall see. I'm already looking spooky. I think I'm going to also contour my chest, you know, to make this all stand out and make me look as elegant as possible because I want to be Angelina Jolie. Alright, so I'm just going to set this with a light dusting of the Photo Focus powder and just make sure this is all nice and matte so we can go in with powder contouring. I'm going to try to make everything really cool toned. I don't want to look too bronzed. You know, she's like Maleficent. She doesn't see the light of the sun, apparently, and it's very pale. And just want to make sure everything's cool toned. So I'm probably going to be contouring with like eyeshadow because all the bronzers and stuff I have are pretty warm toned. Yeah, so I don't want to look like I've been like in Hawaii on vacation, although that would be nice. So for contouring, I'm going to go in with the James Charles palette. And I'm going to go up here with this brown. It is Tea, I think. Yeah. It's a cool tone, deeper brown. I'm going to go in lightly first, and then I can build it up if I need to. I'm going to start with my nose first, because I feel like that's the easiest. She's got a very skinny nose, but it's short. So I'm going to contour down and then like cut it off a bit, and then do the little cross right there to try to make it look a little shorter. I'm going to bring it up. Ooh, that was really dark. Really dark. Bring it up into the eyebrow to tie in with the eyeshadow, because the eyeshadow is going to be pretty simple too. It's mostly just going to be contouring of the eye shape, and then, you know, maybe like a little pop of gold, because in a couple of the scenes in the movie, she's got a pop of gold. So, this is going to look crazy, really, like at first, but we're going to blend it out. So, just gotta trust the process. So for the cheeks and stuff, I'm actually gonna go in with the shade Punch Me right there. I use this shade for contouring all the time. So I'm gonna start with the lighter shade first. So I'm gonna try to see where my natural contour is right there. And then I'm gonna go slightly above that. Like I said, I wanna start off, just get the basis of where it's gonna be. And then we can go in with the deeper shades and add a little bit more depth to it and a little bit more cool tone, because this Punch Me shade is a little orange on me, especially because I'm so pale right now. I'm going to bring this down the sides of my face. I'm going to blend that out. So normally I start this like right here for normal contouring and go down here. So I'm starting it up a little bit higher. And then we're going to go in with that darker shade that's on my nose. I'm definitely going to go in and clean up this contouring, so just trust the process, like I said. Hopefully it will turn out okay. This is what I want to do with powder, because it's so much easier to blend it out and work with than cream, but you can go in and buff it out a little bit more, but again, it's Maleficent, so you want to be very extreme in your contouring, and you can go in with like a setting powder again to clean up the edges and really focus the depth in, and then the highlights as well. So Angelina obviously has such a good jawline. I would have a good jawline if I didn't have a double chin. You know, all this extra skin. So, you know, if I like what's out and jutted, making it a little bit square. So, go right under. Yeah. Make sure you bring it up under the ear. And then up towards the chin. Just to emphasize that jawline. So, like, look on like this side. And then compared to this, just giving a little bit more shadow, a little bit more definition. I love this bling brushes. This is the F3. I don't really know what the purpose of this one is, but it's really good for what I'm doing today. Alright, I'm just gonna kind of soften up the nose a bit. If you could see my desk right now, like, it's kind of a scary sight with all the stuff I have out. I'm not gonna worry too much about contouring up here because I'm gonna be putting on my little horns. Oh, which are right here. Got them off Amazon. I can link everything I got down below. So I got that off Amazon, the costume, which is a little cheap looking, but I really have like a good dress to wear. And then I got some feather wings off Etsy. So I will try to link everything down below on where I got it. All right, so now I'm gonna go in and take more of the Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder. And just to clean up this contouring, I'm probably gonna go back a lot and adjust the contour as much as possible, but I'm gonna cut that right there. I went a little too low with the lighter shade of brown. So I wanna cut that in. Try to clean that up a bit. And then I'll make sure that this spot is really bright compared from the dark down there and the dark down there, and then that's nice and bright. And then also to cover up more of my redness, because that kind of defeats the purpose. Now I'm gonna let that bake in a little bit. Put some on my chin again. And I'm gonna clean up here, because I went a little too high on the cheeks. I do want my cheeks to stick out a bit, you know? I was really debating on just, you know, attempting to do FX and, you know, like scar wax and all that jazz, but I thought it was in the best interest not to. We saw how the face painting go for the first time. So, and then it's just a lot more work because you have to try to make the like edges seamless. So you got to put on a lot more heavy makeup, which I really didn't want to do. Probably the most powder I ever wear in my entire life. This side is like way more ham than this side, so I gotta fix that. Alright, so now I'm going down my chest and just sucking it in like that so I can contour down here just to make my features seem more dramatic, like Angelina Jolie's. And I don't know, I think there's just something really, I don't know, sexy maybe about like contouring your collarbones. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Ooh, my bra strap. Getting a little sultry in here, guys. And I feel like just emphasizing the bones here would be like, you know, strengthening up my bones to like where my wings would be, you know? And I know technically in the first movie she doesn't have wings, but I'm gonna have wings on my costume because why not? I actually used to contour my collarbones a lot when I was extra and like contoured everything. I haven't done it in a while. See, look at that just sticking out. That just looks awesome. And with the James Charles shades, I mean, they just blend seamlessly. It's really nice. I'll go back through and I'll add like more highlights when I go back to my face. Should I do my chest? Maybe a little bit. I don't know how far down my actual costume goes. I tried it on once. It's been a couple of weeks. So I'll just do a little bit on my cleavage. See, look at that. And I just kind of want to go ham in here and just try to blend it in a little bit more. Yeah, it's getting there. We still have got a lot to go, but it's getting there. So before I go with any more touch-ups, I'm going to start on the eyes. So first, I need to prime my eyes. I didn't do that yet. Alright, so now I'm just going to take a brown eyeliner pencil and I'm going to go underneath my lash line, just very lightly, like underneath, to kind of mimic the shape of her eyes, because it's going to have like that extra level of skin right here. And I'm going to use that brown to extend my tear duct a bit. I just want to start off with like a lighter brown and I'll probably go in with black later. Alright, so I'm going to take that same brown shade that I was kind of using to contour. I'm going to use this in the outer corner. Like I said, the eyeshadow is going to be pretty basic. It's just going to be like the same brown shades I've been using with just a little pop of gold. Just want to make sure I drag everything upward to try to give that cat wing effect. You just want everything to keep going upward. So it's amazing how pigmented eyeshadow can be on the skin, and then compared to the eyes, it's like a lot more dull. Don't understand that really. And I'm just gonna put a light layer of this into the crease and kind of connect it in with that nose contour we have got going on. All right, so I zoomed you guys in just a little bit. I gotta fix that. That looks really bad. I'll fix that later. But I just want to zoom you guys in a bit so you can see what I'm doing with the eyes. Just trying to change the shape of my eyes and bring everything going up nice and snatched. All right, so for the pop of gold, I think it's quite iconic to go in with a Pat McGrath shade right here. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I don't have it in front of me. So just a little pop on the lid. This definitely emphasizes the green in my eyes, and thankfully I have green eyes already because I don't really want to mess with contacts. I would like to wear contacts, but it's just, I don't know, I've had a lot of horror stories and I really don't want to mess up my eyesight, so I'd rather just not worry about them. Oh, that gold shade is just, might look washed out in the light, I can't really tell. But I'm gonna go back in and blend it in. The inner portion of the eye is gonna be pretty empty, nice and light. It has some contrast. I keep losing the eyeshadow brush I was using. So just gonna blend that brown into that gold again. I'm just gonna go in with the shade Canvas from the James Charles palette, just to put a base down on the inner portion of my eye and kind of like set the eye primer I was using. And then just like seamlessly blend that in with the gold. So I don't want the gold all the way in, and I'm gonna highlight in my inner corner with something else anyways, so. All right, so then I don't know if you guys can see, but like putting that little brown right there just gives you like that little like skin flap thing, which is kind of, that's what Angelina Jolie has, so. All right, so now I'm gonna go into the shade Branch from the Conspiracy palette, and I'm gonna use this to highlight a lot of my face, because this is a really good white highlighter. So I'm gonna put this on the inner portion of my eye. I'm gonna be putting this underneath the brow bone. I'm putting this on my nose. Pretty much every spot that really needs to be emphasized is gonna be where this shade goes. So right down the nose like that. We're gonna do a pretty straight line on my cheekbone to make that stand out. My only thing is, like, I did watch tutorials on this from other people, and like I just have so much red that peeks through underneath from my makeup that just like, because you don't want any red, you don't want any blush for this look. So I think the red that peeks through just like ruins it a little bit. I'm gonna be putting some of this like above the lip, and we're gonna be putting this on the jawline. So we're slowly getting there. All right, so she does have a little bit of a cat eye, so I'm gonna go in with a liquid eyeliner. I'm using the House Laboratories eyeliner. And she's got like a little cat wing. I'm not gonna go too dramatic. It'll probably be mostly covered up by my lashes anyways. I'm not gonna go too dramatic with my lashes, but definitely something that's got a wing that flares out to emphasize the lift in the face. So we're just gonna do a little wing. And I'm also going to tightline again, because it really helps just like merge your fake lashes with your real ones. All right guys, so I went in and put in some little fangs, which are definitely interesting. The first time I've ever worn fangs like this, so now I'm probably talking really weird. And I finished off the eyes. I went in with House of Lashes. I don't think this has a style on the box, but anyways, I really like them. They're definitely a faux mink one. So it's a very simple eye look. Again, it's just more about your eye shape and contour in the right places, and then just a little pop of gold. Now for the most iconic part is the lips. I wish I had a lip stain, but I don't, so I'm going to go in with the Jeffree Star Are You Filming shade and carefully overdraw my lips. I don't really have a lip liner, so this is going to be interesting, and I'm just hoping I don't make a mess. But you know, Angelina Jolie has the most iconic lips ever, and I just think they're like really hard to mimic. I think it makes it even harder to do my lips because I already have Fangs in, but I don't want to put the Fangs in after doing the liquid lipstick because that would be horrible. Alright, so of course I messed up my lips, so I had to go in and conceal a little bit more and try to fix them. But now she has this iconic thing in her lips where she has like this little darker line on the bottom and a couple on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, kind of like that. And if you guys can see, it's not the best, but it's a little bit. And I'm going to take a little bit of that ranch shade and put that on to kind of make my lips look a little bit more pouty. It's really hard trying to put eyeshadow on top of lipstick. Then take that same lip liner and put it into my corners to deepen those up a bit. So I actually went in and used the shade Not a Fact from the Conspiracy palette and put that on for like this shadow. I don't know, they look a little bit more like her lips. Definitely not perfect, but not bad. I definitely can't talk normal with these Fangs. And the thing though with like trying to mimic Angelina Jolie, you have to mimic her pout, you know, like her. Like you really just have to emphasize the hollows of your face, you know. I don't know. Alright, I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. I mean, it's obviously not the best Maleficent makeup I've ever seen in the entire life, and I'm going to talk with a lisp for the rest of the night, but I'm going to go ahead and spray everything with the All-Nighter spray by Urban Decay because I need this makeup to last all night. Alright, I'm going to put my horns on and be right back. Alright guys, that is today's Maleficent makeup all complete. My horns are even way too big to even fit in frame, so I'm not going to be able to speak properly, or I'll probably eat too much, and I'm not going to be able to hear anything because these are like covering my ears. So, beauty is pain. That was definitely a fun look to create. Obviously, I look nothing like Angelina Jolie, but she is everything bone structure wise for goals and obviously her lips. So, hopefully you guys liked today's video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. I love you guys, and if you subscribe to my channel, I welcome you to my feline family. Bye! I need like this to go away. Probably gonna just put powder over it. I look like the Grinch or something.